Welcome back to another Free Roaming Friends video. Every week it seems like we are... Did you just move that with your foot?
I did.
Oh my god. What was I going to say?
Hey everybody, welcome back to another Free Roaming Friends video. Every week we sit down and talk about something travel related, or we take you somewhere that we've traveled to. A lot of the time it's to Disney because we love Disney World. This week we thought it would be really helpful to talk about some Disney terms and phrases that you need to know before you go down. I've had a lot of people since we've started making YouTube videos come to me and are like, okay, we're ready to go. We're ready to go on our first trip to Disney. What do we need to know? And there's a lot to know. It's very overwhelming if you've never been there.
Just the scope of it. I mean, you've got 4 theme parks, 2 water parks, a whole bunch of hotels and resorts, transportation options. I mean, it's its own little city.
There are a lot of terms, a lot of phrases that will just make it so much easier. So we thought we would go through some of them today and help you get a head start before you go.
So fast passes, probably the most famous Disney World term that you have. What Fast Pass allows you to do is to essentially get in line ahead of time. So you'll use your My Disney Experience app on your phone, which we'll get into in a little bit, and schedule your Fast Passes. If you're staying on property, so staying at a Disney resort, some Disney Good Neighbor resorts will do it as well. You can schedule these Fast Passes up to 60 days in advance. If you're staying in a non-Disney resort or an Airbnb, anywhere what's called off-property, then you only can schedule them up to 30 days in advance. So always look for that window and book right at that 60-day window or 30-day window. So say that we really want to go on Flight of Passage. Those are always really hard to get fast passes for. So we check right at the 60-day mark and attempt to get fast passes for them. Disney's fast pass system is currently unavailable, but as things get back to a normal way of life, Disney will hopefully offer those back to us again.
I think they will.
You get 3 fast passes a day. After you've used those 3 fast passes, you're able to schedule another fast pass one at a time for any park. The other stipulation that we have to really think about is your 3 fast passes are good in one park. After that, you can schedule one at a time and it can be in any park. I remember being in Epcot and we had just used our 3rd fast pass and we were in line for whatever ride it was, I don't remember, and a fast pass for Flight of Passage popped up. As soon as we finished that ride, we booked it over to Animal Kingdom and rode that.
So as soon as you get in line for your 3rd Fast Pass ride, as soon as you scan in, you can go ahead and book your next Fast Pass. So a lot of people don't realize that, so don't waste any time. So once you scan into your 3rd Fast Pass, or when you've started making them one at a time, like when you're waiting to get onto the ride vehicle, be on the My Disney Experience app looking for your next Fast Pass. That'll help you get on as many rides as possible. In Epcot and Hollywood Studios, they have a tier system for the Fast Passes. So what that means is in your 3 Fast Passes, you can only have 1 top tier ride. So rides like Frozen Ever After, Test Track, Tower of Terror, or Rock and Roller Coaster, I believe those are all top tier rides, and you can only have 1 of those at a time. Once you use all 3 of them, then you can book any of them.
One of the things that we like to do at Disney is rope drop. Now, rope drop is when you get to the park before it opens. That means you are in the park, ready to go when the park opens, and there used to be an actual rope that they dropped. The reason rope drop is so great for us as a couple with no kids, we don't have to worry about getting kids ready, eating a big breakfast, having a bunch of bags packed in order to go into the parks. We can be ready to go a lot quicker, and so we use that to our advantage. If we want to get on a very popular ride at, say, Magic Kingdom, we'll go in and rope drop and figure out where in the hub we need to stand, so that as soon as that rope comes down, we can head over to Seven Dwarfs Mine Train or Big Thunder Mountain, wherever we want to go for that day. A lot of times, you can ride 2, 3, or 4 rides before lines really start getting moving. There are some rides like Flight of Passage at Animal Kingdom that were so popular, you really needed to be in the park way early. One time we were there, an hour and a half early? We were one of the first crews on. I think we were on that first ride of the day. And then we shot over, did Navi River Journey, went all the way over into the Asia section and did Expedition Everest for the first time. That was the first time we tried it.
It was crazy.
We just went as fast as we could before we could forget because there was no wait. And then we trekked all the way back to Kilimanjaro Safaris. We did every ride in Animal Kingdom in like an hour.
You can really use rope drop to your advantage, and there are sometimes little extra perks to doing it as well. When we first rope dropped the Magic Kingdom, they used to do a show. So they would drop the rope, let you in to the hub area, which is the middle section in front of the castle. And you'd wait before they would let you into any of the lands, and they would do a little show with Disney characters and Mickey, and it was adorable. They will probably be bringing that back, I would say, but they're not doing it right now. The next thing we're going to talk about is the My Disney Experience app. It is crucial that you have this app on your phone. It lets you book your fast passes, book dining. It keeps all of your reservations saved. It has maps of the park. It has wait times that you can see before you go and choose what you want to ride.
It has your transportation options within the app from your hotel room, and it now unlocks your doors. They've been working on this technology for a while. We haven't tried it yet. When we do, I'm sure we'll let everyone know how that went for us.
The number one thing I always tell people before they go to Disney for the first time is to get the Park Hopper option added to your ticket. This is the best thing, in my opinion, that Disney does. You can add this onto your ticket when you check out, and then that allows you to visit all 4 parks in one day.
As of January 1st of this year, 2021, Park Hopper is back at Walt Disney World.
Yay.
After you scan into your first park, spend some time there, whatever you're going to do at that park, at 2 p.m., you are able to park hop to any other park as long as they're not at capacity. There are Disney employees and guest services folks who are able to scan and let you know if there is availability before you even get on the buses to head over to the next park.
All right, the next term that you need to know, especially right now, is boarding group. We mentioned this a little bit earlier. A boarding group is the way that you can ride the new Rise of the Resistance ride at Galaxy's Edge in Hollywood Studios. They release boarding groups at now 7 a.m. and 1 p.m. You get on your My Disney Experience app. Another great reason to have the app. We usually get on a couple minutes before the time when it's going to release. And then we start refreshing our screen before 7 o'clock or before whatever time they're releasing. And then as soon as it hits the time that it's releasing, you hit join, they give you a group number, and then they will alert you to when your boarding group has been called. And once your boarding group number has been called, then you have 1 hour to return to Rise of the Resistance and ride the ride. I love this system. Personally, it's a little stressful. If your fingers aren't fast, it's a little stressful. But if you know how it works, then it really makes it nice because then you don't have to worry. You know that you're going to get to ride it, most likely, barring any crazy, problems with the ride. You know you're going to get to ride it, and you can go about your day, do other fun stuff, and then it's like, oh, hey, time to ride the greatest ride at Walt Disney World right now. And then you go and you ride it.
At least for the 7 a.m. slot, you can be anywhere for that. We've seen people online who are getting on a plane to head to Florida, who go ahead and do their app reservation, and they get a reservation that's long enough that it will give them time to fly down to Florida, get on the Magical Express and go. I don't recommend that at all. Wait till you're in Florida. Another big argument that people get into is whether to be on Wi-Fi or to be on your data plan on your cell phone. We 100% all the time do not recommend being on Disney's Wi-Fi for this.
No.
Do not be on Disney Wi-Fi. We have had zero luck with that. If you're on a Wi-Fi network that is at your Airbnb or somewhere off property, that's a little bit different. You can get better speeds there, but do not, in our experience, being on Disney Wi-Fi has been awful. The other thing you want to keep in mind is on your opening screen, there's a join button. Tap that join button, and then there's another join group button there. That's the one you need to tap. So you want to go ahead and be within the Rise of the Resistance window before that hits. That's what hurt me once, but you were able to save it for us.
One other thing that you need to remember for this also is you want everybody in your party trying to get this, because a lot of people are on and trying to get a boarding group at the same time, and the more of you in a party that are trying for it, the better luck you're going to have. Also, you have to have a park pass reservation for Hollywood Studios as your first park of the day to get a boarding group.
The last thing you want to make sure that you're doing, make sure that you are linked into a party with everybody who's going with you. So every single person in your group. If it's 2 parents and 2 children and the 2 parents are trying to get on and your children aren't on that group with you, that could cause some problems for you. And that's just a trip to guest services that you don't need. The line's always long. Somebody's always mad about something, so, you know.
The next thing that you need to know about are extra magic hours. Now, these aren't being offered right now, unfortunately, but I'm sure that they're going to come back once Disney returns to their normal way of operating.
We interrupt this broadcast with some breaking news out of Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida. Everything we're about to say about extra magic hours is 100% unequivocally incorrect. That's right, it's wrong.
Darn it.
Extra magic hours are no longer in existence. They will not be returning. It is going to be replaced with something called early entry, which is going to allow everybody who's staying at a Disney resort on property to enter the parks 30 minutes early. Now, we have no word yet on when this is going to start, but to save ourselves some embarrassment, let's just kind of fast forward through what we were going to say. Something that's really awesome is PhotoPass. PhotoPass is a photography service that Disney offers. It is super useful. It is available on rides, and it's available with actual photographers taking pictures in popular places like in front of the castle, down Main Street. If you have a chance to do that, get some pictures taken. The most important thing with the PhotoPass is you don't have to worry about taking photos on your phone all the time. You've got somebody with a really nice Nikon camera who's going to take your picture for you. They do special magic shots. It's imperative, though, if you're going to use that service, to put the Memory Maker add-on onto your park ticket. Memory Maker allows you to download those photos from your My Disney Experience app. They're high-quality digital images, all of your favorite magic shots, which include sometimes maybe Tinkerbell's flying, or you have a Banshee flying above you in front of Pandora. Just a lot of fun magic shots. Let's talk about the Magical Express. Before your trip to Orlando, you'll be able to schedule a pickup from Magical Express. In the before time, they would send you a luggage tag for your luggage if you didn't want to go to baggage claim. Right now you have to go to baggage claim, get your luggage, and they will give you a ride to your resort. They will also give you a ride back to the airport, at which case it becomes the Tragical Express, because it's so tragic that you have to leave Disney World.
Now, Disney does not have employees, they have cast members. So anybody that is working in a gift shop, or a waiter or a waitress in any of the restaurants, any of the guest services people, those are cast members. They are there to make your trip wonderful and to help you in any way that they can. And we always love to tell them thank you. I don't think that they are always appreciated enough. Cast members, if there are any of you out there watching, we love you and we appreciate you. Magic bands are the plastic, colorful bands that you wear around your wrist. These will get you into the parks. They will have your ticket on them so you can get in. They will let you into your room. You can even connect your credit card to it and pay for things just by scanning your wrist.
It uses RF frequencies and is paired to your My Disney Experience app.
They used to offer these for free for each member of your party before you checked into a Disney Resort hotel, so they would send it to you in the mail. But they have done away with this service, but you can still buy them in the park. And if you have one from a previous trip, you can still use it, and you can control which bands are active or inactive on your My Disney Experience app.
Another controversial topic is the Disney Dining Plan. Currently unavailable, but it'll be available soon, I'm sure. Depends on what you eat. There are multiple tiers of the Disney Dining Plan, and essentially what it does is allows you to pay for your food before you get to the parks. So you don't even have to think about it. I will say you do have to pay for tips when you're at the table. There are different promotions that Disney will run throughout the year on normal years. So you'll have to evaluate whether the Disney Dining Plan is right for you and your family, or if you want to pay as you go. Dining at Disney is confusing, but there are different titles for everything, and it can take a while to learn them. You have terms like quick service, table service, signature dining, and all of them mean something a little bit different, and they're all linked to price. A quick service restaurant is like a fast food type option. Quality of food is lower, prices are cheaper, you usually order at a counter, and then you can take it and sit down, eat, or eat on the go, whatever you're doing. For a table service meal, that is a regular restaurant style meal, you'll have a waiter or a waitress. Sometimes you would use 1 point on a dining plan. If it's a little bit nicer, it could use 2 points on a dining plan. It all depends, but for table service, it's a little nicer, and you're gonna have a waiter. Your signature restaurants, we're talking places like Tiffin's, Topolino's Terrace, something else that starts with T. I don't know. Not T-Rex.
Yeah.
Cinderella's Royal Table. They're the most expensive restaurants on property, and they will eat away at those gift cards really fast.
Yes, they will. The last type of dining is character dining, and this is really fun because you go and you eat your meal, and as you're eating, the characters come around to you. And depending on which place you go, there's different characters. You can find all of that on Disney's website or the My Disney Experience app. And this is the best way, in my opinion, to do character interactions because they come to you. You don't have to wait in line. It's fantastic. They're doing modified versions of this in certain places around the parks right now.
When Akershus opens up in Epcot over in the Norway Pavilion, that is a great one for some princesses, as well as Cinderella's Royal Table. That's a signature dining one, but you'll get to see so many princesses, and they will just hammer them out for you really quick, and it is nice, and you don't have to wait in line forever for your wife to meet the real Elsa. What's next? Mobile order. Ever more important in the Disney realm, since you have your My Disney Experience app, is the mobile order. You can do the mobile order at most quick service locations for like a fast casual experience or something like that. For right now, Disney requires mobile ordering for several of its restaurants. I look for that to be expanded as things get back to normal, not the other way around. Mobile ordering allows you to place your order on your phone, pay on your phone, so make sure you link a credit card or debit card into that, and then it'll notify you when your meal is ready or you're able to return to the restaurant. So it eliminates a lot of the line, a lot of the standing around, a lot of the boring stuff, and more to the good stuff about eating, which is what we love.
One of the big things that you have to think about when you go to Disney is which resort you're going to stay at. They have so many different ones, and they are divided into 3 categories, which are number 1 are value resorts, number 2 are moderate resorts, and number 3 are the deluxe resorts. Now, value resorts are your cheapest ones, and they're adorable. We've stayed there, we enjoy them.
Standard hotel room with a little bit of extra Disney magic because of where you are.
Moderate resorts are kind of the middle of the road. Resorts like Caribbean Beach, Coronado Springs, any of the Port Orleans 2 resorts, those are considered moderate, and they're also very, very nice. The third group are your deluxe resorts, and these are the most expensive. So resorts like Grand Floridian, the Polynesian, these are going to be your most expensive resorts, but they are wonderful.
There's actually a fourth type of resort, and that's the Disney Vacation Club, or DVC Resort. If you're booking one of these, they're all deluxe style resorts. If you book one of those and you're not a DVC member, it is possible, but you'll have different room categories like studio villas, things like that. So it gets a little more confusing. Within your regular resorts, you get to select your view, a standard view, preferred view, and those all mean different things depending on where you are. So ask questions, get on the chat that's in your web app, or ask other people who have gone, ask us.
DVC, Disney Vacation Club, is another whole thing all in itself, and we are members. So if you have any questions about that and you would like a video explaining more about what that is, leave us a comment below. The last things that we're going to talk about are your methods of transportation. So they have the bus system that will pick you up from your resort, take you to the park, then take you back to your resort. And then they have the Skyliner, which is pretty new. It's a gondola system that takes you between Epcot, Hollywood Studios, Art of Animation, Caribbean Beach, and the Riviera Resort.
I think you got them all. Like first try, look at that. They only go here though. And from those resorts, unless there's very bad weather or something's not running, you have to take that Skyliner to Epcot or Hollywood Studios from those resorts she mentioned. They do have a bus that goes, but it runs very infrequently.
They also have the monorail system, and I am not sure at the current moment if the monorail is running to all of the areas that it normally is, but normally it goes from Magic Kingdom, Epcot, and to any of the Magic Kingdom resorts these are the resorts that are the closest to Magic Kingdom.
So places like the Polynesian, Contemporary, Grand Floridian. The other way you can go is by boat. Depending on where you stay, you'll be able to take a boat directly into the parks. There are different places that offer this option. You can take a boat to Disney Springs from some resorts. It just depends.
So these are the terms and things you need to know before going to Walt Disney World. I know that there was a lot of information in there, but we are here to help. If you need us, feel free, leave us a comment if you want us to explain something more. We are happy to do that. We could talk about Disney World all day, every day. So it's no problem. We will read your comments. Like I said, Disney can be overwhelming, but if you know some of these terms and you have a good idea, a good understanding of what they mean, it's going to help you so much. So thank you for watching today, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye. This week we thought
right now, Disney requires. For right now, Disney so sorry. We use Magical Express when we can. There's no toll roads on the Magical Express.
okay.
Pixie dust is flying, I tell you. Bibbidi bobbidi boo.